Good evening, everyone, and I welcome us back to tonight class. I hope everybody can hear me right. So I welcome us back to tonight's class. So we've started this amazing journey. I've tried to introduce us to the basics of okay. I've tried to introduce us to the basics of data analysis. We've done something regarding the use of Power BI. Abi? No, we are just starting Power BI tonight. So we've done something regarding the use of Microsoft Excel, how you can do some basic calculation, formula functions, and also how you can do some basic data cleaning using some visuals, bar chart, by chart, line chart, and also how you can use a pivot table. We also discuss on how you can bring them together in building a dashboard that is interactive. And I've seen people already tagging me on LinkedIn. I think I've seen up to like two or three now on LinkedIn. Despite I said the deadline is it April 17. So I've seen people responding to that positively by tagging me on social media by posting their dashboard that they built by themselves. So I think that is really an encouragement, and that is really showing that we are all learning and we are following along. So tonight I will be talking about the use of Power BI and try to show us some of the basics of Power BI, the interface. Then we are going to end up using Power BI to perform the- Power BI is basically for dashboard building. Just like Microsoft Excel, you can still do some basic things except the dashboard part for Microsoft Excel is just like an added part like it's not basically for designing a dashboard, but Power BI is designed for that. So the basic things, like the major things they use Power BI to do is to build a dashboard or build a report. They call it report or dashboard. So I'm going to show us the interface, how to navigate through the interface, then how you can do some certain things. So in our subsequent classes, we are going to work on a data set. We are going to build a dashboard just like the one we did for Microsoft Excel. Then once we are done touching the area that need to be touched, then we can move to the use of Python programming language. So I'm going to be sharing my screen now so that you can see my screen. So So I've shared a video already, like a YouTube video on how we can install Power BI, how you can download and install Power BI to your laptop. I've tried to do that, and I hope everybody on this call have followed that video and try to follow it step by step in downloading. If you follow the video correctly, like you shouldn't have issue with that. So I think it's straightforward. So you just need to follow the video. Once you follow the video, you you download it like from Microsoft Tech. I can also try, okay, let me just even try to show some, but just because I have it already on my laptop, I won't be able to show some certain things because I cannot install, I cannot uninstall it and install it again. So yeah. So if you want to download a Microsoft Power BI on the laptop. And for people using MacBook, this particular software is into two. We have Tableau, and we also have Power BI. If you are using Tableau, if you are interested in using Tableau, Tableau works on MacBook. Why? If you are using Windows, Power BI is going to work on Windows. Only if you are trying to use a virtual box in your on your MacBook, I think that's when you'll be able to install Power BI on MacBook. But even on my own Mac, before I got this window, I don't really like using the virtual box. So I use Mac for what I know that is necessary for using Mac, then use window for the one. So if you have a window, just go ahead to download your Power BI. And if you have a MacBook, I'll just encourage you using Tableau. They are the same. The only difference between them is Tableau. I think Tableau asks for subscription at times. It's not completely free as Power BI. So we can try to find our way around it. So and window, I think window can accommodate the two. You can install Tableau on window. You can also install Power BI on window. So I'm just going to show the basics on how you can install and download, but I know I'm not going to do it. I just want to show because I already have it on my laptop here. So I'm going to show that soon. So you can do it in two ways. And the first way is by going to Microsoft Store. Okay, let me try to check for Microsoft Store. I don't know, maybe the window I'm using is the one we are using, but you can just, okay, let me just press store. Okay, now me just putting store here, I'm able to see Microsoft Store. So once I click on this, it's going to open this for me. So it's already loading. So this is loading already. So this is you clicking on the Microsoft Store. This is what you're going to see. So once it's displayed this, you can now try to look for here. So once you click on this, this is where you can search for what exactly you are looking for. So you can just type in Power BI desktop, Power BI desktop. So Power BI, Power, okay. I think I'm not correct with this. So you can see immediately I type in this, it already is already suggesting this Power BI desktop for me. So I'll just click on it, and once I click on it, it's going to load and display what is there. So this is the Power BI desktop. Just because it's something I've downloaded on my laptop before, and it's something that I've been using. So that's why you can see what is showing here is just open, or if I want to update it. But if this is my first time of coming here to check for Power BI to download, it's just going to show me, okay, download. Then after the downloading, I'm going to install it. So that's how it's going to work. But if this is not my first time, it's going to show me open or update. So is either like I open it, that is I already have it on my laptop, or I'm updating it, like so that I can have access to the latest version. So once you type in the my Power BI desktop, it's going to show this, and you can easily download it and get installed on your laptop. So that's all about that. That's the first method. The second method is coming to your Google search. Just put in you can type Microsoft Power BI desktop or just Power BI desktop. So I can just use Microsoft Power BI desktop, desktop download. You can see now it's suggesting Microsoft Power BI desktop download for Mac, but that is not possible because we don't, like, it's not compatible with Mac. It's only if you are using VirtualBox. So if I'm going to click on OK, and you can see here it's suggesting some things for me, just like download Microsoft Power BI desktop from official. This is like their official website. So and you can also click on this as well. So if I click on this, so me clicking on this will take me to this website where I can easily download it. So I have, okay, it's going to ask me the language where, like, I mean maybe like the language that they have is going to entail. You know, this is just like English that is easily readable by anybody. So I can also change it if I'm in a country where speaking English is not our primary means of communication. So I can just click on any of them. So after you've clicked on this, you can just click download. So immediately you click download, it's going to download on your laptop. Then once it downloads to your laptop, then you can now install it. So after the downloading, after it has downloaded on your laptop, you can now proceed by uh installing it on your laptop. So once you, after the end of the installation, you can now come to your window, then type Power BI because it has already been downloaded and it has already been installed to your laptop. So once you click on Power BI, you can just click on Power BI desktop and it's going to come up. So I've already clicked on it and I'm waiting for it to come up. So it's already showing, but it's not yet completely shown. So anytime you want to access it, this how you are going to be doing. So you just click on it, search for it, then once you are able to get it, it's going to load in this way. And I'm waiting for it to display so that I can show us the interface. So now this is okay, this is what is going to show you, and I think this is the updated version. Before it just show the Power BI report directly, but now I think they've updated it because I just downloaded this of recent, so that's why it's showing this option. So I'll just go to report, which is new, and you know, just like I said, the basic application of these tools is building a dashboard, and a dashboard is also known as report. So if I click on that report, it's going to show me this. This is like this is what you showed immediately I open the Power BI board. I think it's an upgraded versions of they trying to put it in that two way. So this is the interface. So we have, like, if I click on file here, it's going to bring me back to this, and this has an options of open. So if I click on open, it's asking me to open a recent file if I have a recent file, or if my data is on OneDrive, or maybe like I works on a project here that I've already uh uploaded on my OneDrive. I can easily access my OneDrive here, so I can save my work, like just saving the current work, and I can also save my work as like adding a name to the works I'm doing, like my dashboard or my visualization. So I can also share if I want to share my work with someone, maybe like we are working in a team, but it's going to ask of email address. So I can only share my work with email address. So here I'm not interested in sharing, so I will just cancel. So then I'll come back here. Then this is get data. That is if I'm getting data for my visuals. You know, as a data analyst, you tend to work with different datas, different sources. Like, you work with data from different sources, right? So we have Excel workbook, we have Power BI data sets, we have, So you can work with Excel data, like you can bring your Excel data here and do everything that you want to do about it. Then we also have Power BI data set, we have data flow, we have SQL, that is structured query server database. You can work with a database data in your Power BI. You can use Azure analysis service database. You can also use text, like your data can be in form of text and it can be in form of CSV. So you can also get data from web, you can get data from old data feed, blank query. So these are just like basic um source where you can get your data from, and that's where you can bring it to your Power BI to build your dashboard or to build your visuals. So you can also import, and what are things you can import here? You can import Power BI template. There are some people that their job now in this data track is to build a template for people to use. So if you already have a template, or somebody that is very skilled in Power BI has already built a template for a dashboard that you can easily use and customize your own data towards it. So some of them are experts before they start doing that. So most of the time you may use them as a guide in you building your own visuals or your report. So you can also work with Power BI visuals from file. So there are also some Power BI visuals from file that you can bring here and continue your work with it. So Power BI visuals from app source, you may also get from app source, Power Query, Pivot, Power Pivot and Power View. So these are like basic file, Power BI file that you can import and continue your work in Power BI. So after you are done, you can also export your work. You can export your work in terms of templates, just like giving others, maybe like beginners, some of the template of works you've done that they can also follow or use as a guide. And you can also export your dashboard in form of PDF. So if you export it in terms of PDF, especially when you want to share it on social media, you can either export it as PDF or you can screenshot your visuals, so or your dashboard anytime you want to share it and let people to see what you are doing. So you can also publish your work, but I think this publish feature is now being monetized. So if you are not using a paid version, you will not be able to publish your dashboard. And the function of you publishing your dashboard is by putting that your dashboard on the internet, where you can easily share a link, just like a web link, to anybody that can visit your dashboard even when you are not there, and try to interact with it, interact with what you are doing, and it will still work perfectly fine as if it's on your laptop or your Power BI desktop. So these are just like basic things that you need to know in that side. So if I click on home here, this is what we have here. We have some of these ribbons, just like we have get data. This get data also work as the one I explained earlier. So you can get Excel workbook, Power BI data set, data flow. They are still the same thing. So depending on where your data is coming from, and you can also click on this get Excel data directly. So once you click on it, it's going to take you to your laptop and show you, okay, where is the Excel data. So once you see it, you can easily click on it and just continue your work. So one lake data hub. So if you click on one lake data hub, we have Power BI data set, we have data mart, we have lake house, we have warehouse, we have KQL. So most of all these things are things that you may use some on your daily basis, while some you rarely use them, but it's just something nice, you knowing that okay, this is that. So in case if there's a need or a need arise. So we also have SQL server. Then you can also create a table in your Power BI that is like forming your own data yourself. So I'm going to do that first before trying to do other things. So that I can easily enter a data set and do some visuals on it before bringing a big data set here. So if you click on enter data, it's going to show where you can see now it's showing column and this is like row, but I'm not going to do that now. So I'm going to come back to it. So we also have data verse, we have recent source. So if I use a recent source of getting data before now, so I will be able to see it here and be able to work with it. So if you see transform data is just like ways of cleaning your data, transforming your data from dirty or from a data that contain some anomalies to a clean one. So you can transform your data because naturally most data are always dirty or has some inconsistent or has something that need to be clean. So once you click on transform, it's going to you're going to have access to some tools where you can use it to clean your data and make it very presentable. You can also do data source setting depending on what you want to do. If you need to set the source of getting your data, so this is new visuals. So you can see if you want to create a new visuals, just click on here and you can see something is showing. Like I want to build a bar chart and you can see it here, but I'm not going to work with that now because I don't have data yet, so I'm just going to remove it. So you can look for more visuals here, like from my file, from app stores and all. So this is just like that. You can also insert, especially when you are building a dashboard, you can insert a visuals, you can insert a page, new page. Just like you can see this one is a page one, so we can also insert another page. I have seen a scenario where people build some, just like how I did the dashboard in Microsoft Excel, where I create a sheet for pivot table one, pivot table two, pivot table three and pivot table four before building the dashboard. So in this regard as well, you can build the first page for some visuals, then the second page for some visuals, third page for some visuals, then page four can be your dashboard, and dashboard will be combination of those visuals. And from your page one as well, you can also build a dashboard without even disturbing yourself building page one, depending on how large or how diverse the data is and what you are trying to achieve with the data. So we have, you can insert more visuals. You have key influencer. So key influencer is just like a AI stuff that you can use to ask some basic question that can also help you to uh, analyze or visualize your data better. So we have the composition tree, we have narrative, we have paginated report, we have power app, we have power automate, we have text. You can insert text, you can insert button, you can also insert shapes and image depending on what you are working on and what you really want to show. So also this is the part of modeling, and you can see these are the one working or these are the one that is clickable. So you can see new table and also new parameters. So language, linguistic, schema. So this is what is under that. So if I click on view, we have different things we can toggle around here. In terms of view, you can change page view, you can check page view, you can check the mobile layout of your visuals, especially when you are sending it out. You can add grid line, and initially there is not always a grid line. The grid line you have remove, it's just the grid line is just what give it column and row. So you can remove it's already removed, but if you click on it again, I think it's going to show a line. So we can also snap to grid, you can lock object, you can also create filter just like the way you can in Microsoft Excel. So you can bookmark, you can select, you can use performance analyzer, then you can select the slider. So these are basic things you can do under view. You can also optimize. So when optimizing your visuals, you have paid visuals, reference visuals, optimize, then performance analyzer, then apply all slider button. So then this is help. So these are just like the basic things that we see on our day-to-day basis while working on building a dashboard. We also have in this side, you will see that we have report view. The first one is report view. The second one is table view. So if you have a table, you can easily view your table here in your table view. And if you have a report view, like if you start building your visuals, you can easily get your um report view, like the dashboard view from the report view. You can also do the table view, and you can also do model view, and you can do the DAX query view. So these are basic things. This model view most of the time works more when you are bringing a database or SQL data to a Power BI. There's a way you can link the schema or like define the data model. So depending on what you are trying to do. So now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a data, and what kind of data can I just try to, let me use name here, name, then let me say age, then I can also use this as numbers of time. Oh, so this is like our headers for this data set, and I want to input some things. So I can input Abayomi. Let me start with my name. I can also put maybe like age 20. I can just say, okay, just to complete this, let me say the total times attendance, let me just use 10. So I want to maybe like check for those that at ten classes always. So I will just put 10, that okay, Abayomi at ten classes every time. So let me use Kunle, then let me use age of 25, then how many time you at ten classes, maybe let me just give it 8. Then let me give Shola, then I can call that 30 years. I can say okay, at ten classes 9 time. Okay, let me see, because okay, let's say 9. Then let me use another person. Let me say good, and let me call this person 35. So thinking maybe the person is married, the person may not be able to attend classes as we expect. Let's just use 5. So the person attend classes on the average basis. Let me just say, let me call Inje, then let me say 23. Then let's also look into, okay, this person come to class every time. Let's use Isaac. Let's say 25. This person come to class 9 times. So I just want to build it to like okay, let me continue. let me use Tofumi. I'm just using any name that comes to my mind right now. Tofumi. Let's say 30. Let's pick it. Let me say Alex. Let me just use 4. Let me use a Igbo name. Let's say this person also show up 6 times. And let's use uh let's use Timmy. Let's see. So what I will just add again is let me add gender to this particular data set. Okay. So let me use male for this, followed by male. Then let me use female. Female. Female as well. So male, then female. So this is the data set that I've manually created for this analysis. So I can just load my data. I can put the name to my, okay, I can just say Techie Jones data, then bio. Then I can load my data. So once I'm done, I click on load and the data is already loading here. So once it's finished loading, it's going to display. So after it has, okay, now it's already loading here. So we can all see that it's already showing Techie Data Analysis Student Bio. So this is what I'm trying to create. And this is just like a manual work, right? And we're still going to look into, okay, how we can bring an external data set into the dashboard. So now it has already completed. We have the data, and once it's completed, the next thing you're going to do is by looking into this side. This is your right hand side, and if I click on this now, it's going to show me the features in my data set, just like we have age, we have gender, we have name, and you can see we also have numbers of times student present in class. So that's what we have here. So if I just want to do some visuals, I can click on age. So once I click on age, I can just click on any chart here. You can now see that we have different charts here. So I can just click on, okay, let me click on this chart. And after clicking on this chart, I can also click on name to see what is going to display. So I'm waiting for it now. So we can all see from here that okay, I'm able to like create a visuals of the sum of the age and also their name. That is, we can see here that okay, goat has the highest age. Goat is the oldest here. So based on these visuals, we can see that goat is actually the oldest, and we can see that Abayomi is the youngest that has 20 years old. So I just what helped me to do this, to get this, is by clicking on the age and clicking on the name, and you can see, and also by clicking on a visuals here that gave me this particular chart. So I'm also going to do another one by okay, let me go with uh age, gender and name at the same time. Okay, and don't forget that I always tell us that anytime you want to make a visuals, you must always try to use something that is going to tell a good story with your data. So if it is something that is not telling a good story, you can always try to change them. So in this scenario, I'm going to remove the name. So after removing the name, I can see that okay, the male has this particular sum of the age and why. So I can also check with the number. So if I try to check with the number, and I want to check if okay, let me just check gender and numbers of time people at classes. So if I'm checking like the numbers of time people at classes with the gender, so I can see now that we have more male that at classes than female. So we this my chart is showing me like this is just like basic analysis as well. So in this chart, I'm able to see that this my the male in my data set tends to come to class than female. So we may also need to look into what can we do for female that we encourage them to be coming for classes, why we can see that male are the one that they at ten d classes the most. And we can also take a look into why are the male at ten ding classes, what are things that need to be done to retain their interest, or maybe like for them not to run away at the end. So these are just, if I try to check on the age distribution, okay, I think putting age distribution is okay, somebody is saying as you zoom it, let me see. And I don't think my screen is really small. So if we zoom in too much, we are not going to see things clearly because would have like a very narrow screen. So but I think we can still see it. So what I've tried to make it bigger. So this one is just like the first chart here is we are summing age, we are checking age and the name. So we want to know the distribution of the age and the name, and we want to easily track the person that is older or the person that is youngest, or want to even check the distribution of the age of students in class. And the second chart here, we are trying to check on the numbers of people that at ten d classes. Okay, let me just uncheck age. So we are trying to check the numbers of people that at ten d classes, and we are trying to compare it from male and female to know okay, is it male that at ten d classes or is it female that at ten d classes. So dis can be like part of what we are trying to analyze and what we are trying to see. So we can also try to use like okay, let me try to do something here. So I may want to get the total numbers of people that at ten d classes. What I'm going to, and don't forget that this dis visuals here, you can see dis build visuals. We have different chart here. We have area chart, we have stack column chart, we have cluster bar chart, we have cluster column chart, we have 100% stack bar chart, we have 100% stack column chart, we have line chart, we have area chart, we have stack area chart, we have line and stack column chart. So we have all these particular, we have for map, we have for card, that is if you want to calculate a significant things that you only need a number, that you don't even want to see maybe like a visuals. At times it may be like you just need a number. So these are just places where you can easily pick up what you need, and it's going to take effect in your data. So when after this class, once you have the Power BI, you can just go and play around with them. You can try your best to insert any data of your choice, or even probably import data like previous Excel file. You can bring it to your Power BI, then start playing around with them and see what is working or what is not working. So now I will just pick a card. Okay, you can also use a bar chart. Bar chart, you can use a scatter chart here. You can use funnel, you can use field map, you can use axon map, you can use card. So these are just like things you can actually use from your data set. So I'm clicking on card, and this is it here. I think it's becoming bigger just because of how I make my screen to look like. So this is card here. So I'm just going to click on numbers of time present in class. So we can see that now e just gave me numbers of time present in class. That is, e help me to sum everything in just like in a way that he's not doing it like he just sum it. Okay, I may want to know the total numbers of time that everybody attended classes, or it's just like if I'm working with data that has a revenue, that has a profit, that has a capital, or that has maybe like a selling price or so. So I may want to calculate the total revenue or the total profit. So in that regard, I can do something like this by clicking on the card and clicking on that particular thing. So it can be sum, it can be average, depending on what you can. If I want to change this to average, because this is sum of numbers of time present in class, so I can just come down here and click on okay. If I click on this, I can easily change it to either sum. If I click on sum now, if I click on average, you can see that it has already changed to average of numbers of time present in class. So if I click again and I click on this minimum, it's just going to give me the minimum. This is the minimum numbers of time present in class. And if I want to get the maximum, I can also click on that, and it's telling me here that the maximum time present in class is 10. So this is just how it works. So I'm going to go back by clicking on the sum. So and in this also you can also change the color. You can also try to put, this is a black color, you can make it blue as this. If you're actually building the same thing, you are building a dashboard where the color must match, like that's just like out of telling a good story with your data. So you must follow a pattern, like a consistent pattern, just like in form of color. So if you are using black, let everything to be black. If you are using red, let everything to be red. If you are using blue, like there must be a consistent pattern in your data set. So here I may want to format my visuals by just trying to see, okay, the color here is this. Let me see if it's going to change. So now I've changed this color to this particular color, and I think I can also change. So I can also change my data label. Let me see. So I've already changed my data label as well, depending on what I'm trying to do. So I can also change this all this data label to my to also the same color, but most of the time it's still preferable when this, like the data label, just like sum of age and this are in black, while the visuals is in another color. So this one I can easily change it back to black, so that what will just be the color will just be 74. What is just important is you're being consistent with exactly what you are using, and not using, okay, this color here and that color. So you must build it in a way that everything works. So this is all on this data set. The next thing I'm going to do now is how you can import a data set, already made data set, because this one, you notice that this one, I was the one that just formulated it and we start using it. So what I did, the first one, that the first work that we did is in page one. So now I've added another page by clicking this plus sign. So I'm now in page two. So what I will be doing now will be on page two. So page two. And what I'm going to do is I will just click on get data. Once I click on get data, I'm going to click on Excel work. Somebody is asking access in all the tools. Sir, please, do you have access in all the tools in bank? Yes, for me, I can have access, but I don't think it's general for everybody. And the reason is I have a Microsoft email that I can use. If I use my email to sign up on this Power BI, I have a Microsoft email address. So if I'm able to use the email, I'm going to have access to everything. It's just like I'm using a paid version. But I don't think I think the publish feature is not going to work, especially if you are using basics and you are not paying for the uh for the product, for the Power BI. So it's not going to work. You will not be able to publish your work online. And before it was free, but now they just change it to, if you are not paying, it's not going to work. So but for me, I have access to it because I have Microsoft email, so I can use it to sign up if I want to use anything, and it's going to work. So let me just click on okay. I'm trying to click on the where my data is. So I have a Power BI data here. So I'm just going to click, but I just name it Power BI, but it's still a normal data set, like normal Microsoft Excel data set. Once I click on open, so it's already connecting the data set. So it's already connecting it, and after the connection is still loading. So once it's finished loading, I'm just going to click OK, so that we can, okay, I think it's done. So I can just click on, you can see that the first one that we have access to here is sheet one. So we can see, and the data set we want to work with, immediately I check this sheet one, is able to show me this retail ID, date, month, region, and also state. So these are just like the data set that I'm trying to bring to my Power BI instead of me typing it manually. And you can see underneath here we have load, we have transform, and we have cancel. So it's either you are loading your data like directly to your Power BI, or you are trying to transform your data. That is, if the data is dirty and you just need to do some basic cleaning on it before you can use it. So for me now, instead of loading, I'll just click on transform data. So once I click on transform data, I'm expecting a Power Query to open, Power Query editor to open. And this Power Query is also in Microsoft Excel. You can make findings about it and just try to know how far to use it. So this is like a Power Query editor, and as this Power Query editors has opened, I'm not going to perform anything that I want to do in this data set. I may just take a look at this data set and try to look into, okay, what are the things I felt can be changed, or what are the things that need to be amended, what are the things that I feel is not making sense, I need to change them, and all and all and all like that. So depending on what I can see, but I'm not going to proceed this night because we just have a limited time, and I can't teach everything tonight. So we still have classes tomorrow. Although there is holiday tomorrow, but we are not observing the holiday. We can just do what we want to do, and everybody can have a good time working on project and all, instead of just postponing. So that's one of the reason why I'm still going to have this call tomorrow. So instead of just telling us that there's holiday or there's no holiday. So, and I think that should be fine. So this is like the data set. We can just take a look into how it look like. And I think I've sent this data set to the Telegram. Abi, is it Telegram? Yes, I've sent the data set to the Telegram. You can also try to import it and just play around with it, and just try anything you can do with the data set, so that when I'm explaining tomorrow, because tomorrow I'll start building a dashboard, try to do the data cleaning, the analysis, and building the dashboard. If we can complete it tomorrow, maybe I will just look for another dashboard again that I can also build. And after that too, we can move to Python by next week. Power BI is not that difficult, and Microsoft Excel is a good background for us that will make us to really pick up this without really stress. So if tomorrow I can build it and finish it up, I will probably look for another data set, or maybe we can use Thursday as a revision class on Power BI, where people will be asking a question, and then we'll be trying to like take a look into it together and see what we can do. So maybe that's what we're going to do on Thursday. So after building it tomorrow, then once you are able to finalize that by next week, we'll be moving to Python. I'm also going to share a videos that will help you to download and install the software we're going to be using for Python. Then after that, SQL will be the end part of it. And I think I will just, the way I'm just giving us assignment after this Power BI, I'm still going to give us okay assignment on you building a dashboard, posting it on the internet, and also tagging me. I think that should be the best way of doing it again. So you're going to build a dashboard again, post it on your social media, tag me and tag Techie Jones, and that's how I'm going to see it and grade it. So it will be like that, and then you can move to Python and on like that. So I think this is where I'm going to stop because we only have like 4 minutes more. And if I start doing this now, we can't finish it. So there's no point in doing it, in continuing it. So this where I'm going to stop tonight. So if you have a question, you can probably drop, Or let's just do it in this way to make it more interactive. If you have a question, just drop it in the Telegram group, because this chat will not be monitored after now. So immediately I stop this call, I cannot be coming back and be reading, okay, this is the chat, this is the chat. I can't be doing that again. So what we are going to do is going to the Telegram. Any question that you feel that you really want to ask, you can just drop it there. I can check it anytime and try to answer them. So it may not be instantly when you drop it, and I'm going to respond to it. So I think for someone asking for what about the Power BI mobile, there is a Power BI mobile, but the issue is the way you're going to use Power BI on your phone and the way you're going to do it on the laptop, they are quite different, and not really different. The experience on the laptop will be kind of smoother and easier than you using a phone. What I will just tell you is, if you are learning, you can just keep jotting, keep writing down stuff, and you can try the one you can try on your mobile phone. If it works, fine, and if it doesn't, you can just try to note things down. And anytime you have access to a laptop, you can now try what you have been learning. And I think in that regard, you are not wasting your time. So if you don't have a laptop yet, that does not mean you should stop learning. Try, keep learning, do what you can do with your phone. And if your phone, okay, that's what I'm answering. I'm talking about Power BI mobile. I think there's a way you can download Power BI mobile. You can just go to your app store and do like get it. But what I'm still trying to say is that it won't okay, how to send it. The Telegram for data analytics class, how do we send message? Yes, this person asking that how do we send message. There is an interactive Telegram group for people to interact, and the one that is logged, you have to join the one for interactive um class, that where you can be able to just try to join, or maybe like I will look for the link to join that and reshare again. Then for the phone, go to your, if you are using iPhone, go to app store, go and search for Power BI mobile. If you are using Android, go to your Play Store, go and search for it, download it. What I'm trying to say is the experience with mobile phone is different from laptop. That's what I'm saying, because the person keep asking. So the experience with the phone is quite different from the laptop. That's what I'm trying to say. But you can still download it and get it to your phone. It's just like if you are doing Microsoft Excel on your phone and you are doing it on laptop, it's quite different. The one is much easier than the other. So sir, I have been battling with Microsoft verify my member on Microsoft. Do you need to log in before you use it? I think you can just use. Are you talking about using, okay, you know something, let's just move to Telegram. So if you have a question, type it in Telegram. Anybody that is on the main page and you are not in the interactive page, I'm going to reshare the link again, so you can just click on it and join. So once you join, you can drop your question so that I can answer it. So I think that's all. I'm going to end the call from here. So thanks for joining tonight call, and see you in the Telegram page.